Friday Coffee. I am Janine Bolon, and with us today we have business owners, authors, entrepreneurs, and podcasters from all over the world. Thank you so much for joining me during this period of time. Now, we are very informal here at the Open Friday Coffee. You show up when you can, leave when you have to. Say what you want to say, ask what you want to ask, and take off. It is not a problem for me. We are all very busy. I understand you have a life outside of a Zoom room. And so, whatever you have to do, if you have to leave and you weren't able to ask your question because time got constraints on you, then please email me afterwards, and then we'll ask the question at the next Open Friday Coffee and make sure that you get access to it. You will see several people that have the Entrepreneurs HQ. They're part of my team or collaborative partners that help all that the Janine Bolon Show exist. I have a team of 15 people that help me, plus collaborative partners who keep me on the straight and narrow when I need the skill sets they have that I do not occupy. So I just wanted to let you know about that. We have a production company. And so for those of you who say, oh, so Janine, what is it you do? And I go, well, if it has to do with books, podcasts, or promotion on radio or television, we are a production company. So that's what we do. So we usually work with big corporations, but this is my side hustle where I like to help entrepreneurs and podcasters make their pen profitable is what I like to share with people. So with all that being said, we're going to start off with one of my buddies, and I think he's struggling because he's driving right now. But Matt, are you at a place where you can stop and give the 1 minute tip, or do we need to give you a bit more time?
No, I can talk. I had to go and I'm here in Long Island, so I was driving with my friend here and no, yes, I can talk and multitask. And they say men can't multitask. Bullshit.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
anyway,
I know. Wait. I'm going to introduce you. Matt, he launches, man. I call on him. He launches. Matt Roseman is our team's IT guy. Literally. He is the one that we call, help us. You know, it doesn't matter where in the world he is. He can contact us through, and work on our computers and does it all very well remotely. If you ever struggle with IT, please look Matt up. He's somebody I know, like, and trust, worked with him for years. Okay, Matt, please bring it down, bring it home. Give us our 1 minute tech tip, please.
I'll be multitasking here because I'm on my phone today. I'm not on my sheet here, but yeah, a lot of interesting tech news that's going on. By the way, I know you probably heard of a small company called Amazon. Well, guess what they're doing? They are testing robots now to replace humans, and you wonder why people are pissed about minimum wage and not having workers' rights. Also, anybody here use 23andMe? Well, guess what? They were compromised. So not only could your information be compromised, your DNA could be compromised, and you can be sitting there. I mean, be cloning like the sheep. Meh. So also, Intel came out with new chips, but yet they're not faster. So even if you buy the last generation, because holiday season's coming up, that would definitely be advantageous. If you have going, technology shopping, let me know. Amazon and Microsoft are cracking down on Indian tech support scams. So you should be getting less phone calls about those things going on. Also, Lexus and Toyota have jumped on the Tesla bandwagon where there'll be one connector in a couple of years for all the electric cars, which is great. So with that being said, I'm trying to squeeze a lot in here. Let me go into the Mattism or the joke of the week. So the Hebrew haha for this week is I just coined that this morning. It was awesome. The Middle Ages, yes. The Middle Ages were called the Dark Ages because there were too many nights.
Bravo, bravo, love it. Thank you. We can always
Oh,
count on Matt. Oh, go ahead. You got another one?
no, not at all. I just want to say thank you for letting me on. I gotta hop like the bunny, but it was great being on here with all you guys. My information is in the chat in case you have technological trauma for your tech toys or tech tools. Let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist. Thank you so much for being and
Uh-huh.
Tasha and Sean. I appreciate all you guys and your time and effort.
Yep. Thank you, Matt. We'll let you take off right now. Matt usually comes on first thing. We get the 1 minute tech tip. He lets us know what's happening. He lets us know when different groups have been compromised. I love the fact that he surfs the net to do that for us because it's just one of those things that's nice to know where leaks may be happening in our systems. And we don't mean to do it out of a sense of fear. That's not our purpose. Our purpose is to give you accurate information according to what we are seeing as we run around this new technological age that we are all a part of. Okay, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. So next, after the students, I was curious if we happen to have anybody who is a reader of any of my books. I think I got 15 now, although there's somebody on here that like publishes a book a day, but we're not going to talk about him quite yet. He is here though. I have these 4 free books. One is The Thriving Solopreneur, and we have a link that's going to go up in the chat. It's for free. If you want the hard cover of it, or I'm sorry, if you want the soft cover of it, the paperback, it's $10. I ask you to help me pay for shipping on that one. The other one, the other group is the Expressing the Divine, a guidebook for the enlightened soul. Thank you, Naomi. She's the one that helps promote that area with me. And the next one is for my authors. Author Podcasting, be a standout guest while taking your book on a virtual tour. And the last one, but the one that's most famous because I've been doing this for 25 years, is Ditch Your Debt While Banking Bucks. This is the latest book, and you can get into the chat for the financial first response. Start now. And if you find yourself in debt, or if you have a friend who's in debt, or somebody who's, or a client who's always telling you, I don't have enough money, I can't afford your services, give them my link, because it doesn't go in a funnel. They get this book for free. They get an online course on the 60/40 principle, and then they're welcome to show up on Open Friday Coffees, where you will be as well. And they can ask me whatever questions they have regarding their course. Okay, so that's my little thing of trying to get the world into a better place by living debt-free and learning how to be conservers rather than consumers. So that's it for the author and that stuff. Wanted to let you know about that. And then we don't have James Hipkin on, do we? James is not on yet. So we'll move on to the next person. For those of you who have a podcast, do you mind raising your hand, please? Yeah, okay. Digitally would be preferable. Thank you. I love, I'm as bad. I always raise my hand too when I'm doing stuff like that. So Jeff, if you would talk to us a little bit about your podcast, please.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Janine. And I raised my hand because I'm like, where'd it go? Um, my podcast is Global Wellness HQ, and I interview wellness experts who share their insights with my audience to make their lives better.
Thank you very much. Now, is anybody here an author or a podcaster or whatever that is on matchmaker.fm? Because that's where we hang out. So if you aren't a part of matchmaker.fm to get on, that is where we comb, that is our platform that we use to find people for our show, that sort of thing. Okay, so no big deal about that. For those of you who are authors or business owners, we have Podcasters Playground. Jeff Bershawa and I are building Podcasters Playground. It will be on February 22nd. We have a link in the chat that will come up. You are welcome to click on. This does not put you in a funnel. You will not be plummeted with email. We don't have time. Jeff and I don't have time to do that to you. What we do have time for is to give you updates on what we're going to be doing with Podcasters Playground. For those of you who want to learn how to put together a podcast, you want to make your podcast profitable, or you want to scale your podcast. So those are the 3 areas that we're going to be focusing on. And so if you're interested in learning something like that, feel free to join us. We also then, in May 1st and 2nd, will have what's called Podcaster Circus, May 1st and 2nd, and that's for authors and podcasters. We're going to open up 100 breakout rooms. We're going to have podcaster in each one of those rooms, and people will cycle through the breakout rooms, have their recordings, do a massive recording session in about 6 hours. So that's our dream. That's what we're working toward. Okay. And then the last thing is for all my authors. If you are an author or you are a business owner, then I would like you very much to take this Media Kit course. Because one of the things that we noticed is that a lot of business owners do not know how to put together a media kit for media professionals. And so in the link in the chat is the Media Kit course. I charge you $197 for this course. However, if you sign up for anything else I do, we take $197 off of that. Okay, so just let us know that, hey, I signed up for the Media Kit course and I already paid $197. So can you take that off the $497 price? And I'll say, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. We'll make that happen for you. Okay. So last thing is we have a 1-minute branding tip from Rich Beyer. Rich Beyer happens to be in New York and is one of the hashtag Hebrew hotties. So, like I said, their words, not mine. We're going to open it up to everybody else in just a minute. Go ahead, Rich.
These are really Matt's words, not mine.
Yeah, I see how you're pushing that off.
Well, he's not here, so he can't defend himself.
Go ahead,
So,
Rich, talk to us.
so I've been doing this for branding. I'm a branding expert, by the way. That's what the world I live in. And this started with me doing web design solely. I thought, oh, everyone's going to need a website, and I'm going to get myself a great job because everyone's going to need me. And 6 weeks after I got started, the dot-com bubble burst. And you know what? Nobody needed me. But back in those days, we were limited to like 5 or 6 fonts that we could use on our websites, and they were called the web-friendly fonts. Now there are zillions of fonts available. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay? Fonts, the whole purpose of getting people to your site is to give them your information. If you're making it hard to read because you're using the latest and greatest font that's kind of weird, these are visual roadblocks for people. So that's what I want to leave you with on that, is just because you can doesn't mean you should. Okay, it's all about being clear. And I just gotta do so a guy walks into the tailor and he says, listen, the suit's not right. And then goes, listen, the arm's too long. The tailor goes, well, you just take the arm and you hold it like this. And the guy goes, yeah, but the vest is like, he goes, you take it and you hold that like this. He goes, but the leg, he goes, well, you just take that kind of like scunch it up. And so the guy walks out of the tailor shop and he's like this. 2 guys passes by and the first guy says to the second guy, he goes, oh, what an awful accident that must have been. And the second guy goes, yeah, but don't the suit look good? So that's all I got for you today.
But thank you very much. Ting. Thank you very much, Richard. But I love it. So like you can tell we're really formal here on Open Friday Coffee, and we keep it very straight laced. So what I'm going to do is,
and if you're going to groan, just remember you didn't pay a cover charge or a 2-drink minimum.
right? So you're welcome. So we're going to chat with you folks on the way that you came on. We're going to open it up to everybody. And I'm going to ask you, how can I help you? And feel free to let me know how you came into the Janine Bolon Show world and what I can do to assist you. And so we're going to start off with Amy, then Tom, then Naomi. So Amy, good morning. And what can I do for you, dear?
Oh, I wasn't expecting to go first. Hi, everyone. I am Amy. Janine, we have mutual friend Emily Blank that
oh, that's right. Yeah.
With the Connections 111 Marketplace. So yeah, and that's why I'm here, just to say hello and kind of connect and see, what's happening.
Okay, wonderful. We'll come back around to you to see if you happen to have any questions. What she's referring to, Emily Blank, is a collaborative and promotional partner with me, and it's through the 4th version of my books, the Divine series. I happen to be a shaman and a sacred clown, work in the woo-woo space on occasion, and work with about 16 Native American tribes on my as a part-time job. And so when I bring in the healers, Reiki masters, first chakra healer is what I call myself. It's always lovely to have you guys with us, and thank you very much, because we just came through not only the fall gate, the autumn gate, some people call that, but we also went through the eclipse, and so that was kind of a bouncy road for a lot of medical conditions and people just trying to get through life one step at a time. So thank you, Amy, for your light work. We appreciate you. So, Mr. Tom Cavanaugh, what can I do for you, my friend?
Good morning, Janine. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
So I read the book, Author Podcasting.
Oh, thank you for telling me which one. Because people go, I read your book. I'm like, which one?
I know, right? So this is great for me because I have 12 and 4 of them are finishing up. But there's a series, Business Breakthrough Secrets, volumes 1 through 12. And so I'm going to be publishing and launching them all in the first of the year.
Good job. Bravo.
Yeah,
Well
right.
done.
So,
oh my gosh, you've been working.
So that's the first step, and then the second step is to learn the what's inside the media kit and get that all ready to go. I love the tip that you gave me on the Google sheet about the follow up with all the folks. So that's really good because I'm just now warming up to Google. I know I'm a little bit behind the times there, but
You're
I've
not.
been spending my time doing everything else.
Yeah, first of all, Tom, you are not behind the times. When we were going to high school, computers did not exist in high schools. So the
Right.
fact that you're getting onto Google Sheets right now, just realize you're having to go through about 2 generations worth of stuff. So bravo to you. Okay. Anytime I have somebody go, I know I'm just learning Google, I'm like, honey, we were using Alta Vista and excited with that search engine because you could type in a full sentence and ask a question. Google was only for the web developers and the geeks. Yeah. So anyway, great to see you, Sheridan. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, hello.
Good to see you. So Tom,
Good
do
to
you have a
see you.
specific question that I can help you out with?
Actually, not yet because this is my third career, and so
You're not behind. I just want to tell you, if you're on your third career, dude, you are not behind. You are rocking it.
I spent 26 years in the automobile business training salespeople. I spent 15 years teaching 7 different accelerated learning programs. When you talk about the woo-woo space, my master's in psychology is in transpersonal psychology. So that's mind, body, spirit. And so I'm really excited about hearing you say that you're in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a business strategy coach now, it was an easy pivot for me because Mr. COVID just simply put my seminar business out of business in one day. And I just had to pivot the focus of what I was doing into business coaching. One of the programs I teach is called photo reading, and it teaches people how to read at 1 page per second. So I just went out and got 100 books on coaching and photo read them all and started becoming a coach.
Bravo.
Yeah.
So you were asking about the media kit. How can I help you with the media kit?
It's I don't know yet because I haven't got it yet. I just read the book yesterday.
Oh,
As I said, I would read it before I came on
Yeah.
the. So I'm here to look, listen, and learn,
Okay.
and see what's going on. I love it so far, and that's what I'm looking forward to participating on a regular basis.
Okay. Well, definitely sign up for Podcasters Playground because
I will.
I have, for my authors, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can do a podcast, which is basically you talking about your book chapter by chapter. Okay, so
Right.
we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk to podcasters about how they can build a book from their episodes. And that's Jeff's strength. Jeff Burshawa's strength is on that. So that's why we're doing the Podcasters Playground together. So definitely sign up for that for February. And then, yeah, keep coming back to Open Friday Coffee and please ask questions. Like as you dig through the book, if you hit any stumbling blocks, sometimes it's nice just to have a guide as you go through certain things. Okay.
I
So
will. Thank you
it's
so much for having me.
lovely having you. Yeah. Thank you
Pleasure to
so
meet you.
much.
Thanks. Okay.
Uh-huh. And then we're going to have Naomi, Dawn, and then Ingrid. So go ahead, Naomi.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see you, my dear.
It's been a few years. It's been a hot minute. It's been a long time since Utah when we were together. Wow. So what's cooking with my dear friend? Talk about light workers. It must be time for the woo-woo space to present.
It must be because I was just feeling it and booked this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just delighted to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm Naomi Fox-Reyna, for those of you that don't know me, and I think I only know Janine on here. I teach light-filled astrology and human design, and I certify light-filled astrologers. And so I always love connecting with the type of people that Janine attracts because you guys are always awesome. And is this where we share what we need? Like if we need something?
Yeah. What may I do for you, Naomi?
So I don't know if it's as much something you can do, but I'm just sort of putting it out into the universe. I am approaching about 100 students that have gone through my program. So that's really excellent. And I'm just in that transition space where I'm getting creative with new ways to promote my program and just have a wider audience know about it. My audience is amazing and I love them. I'm just working on some different things and bringing in new team members to support my students. And that's going really well. And I can just see what's possible. So I'm moving in that direction. So creative new ways to get the word out. I have an affiliate program, things like that. And so I'm just trying to see what I can't see from my perspective.
Okay. So I'm going to open the room up to answer that question because I call you guys my brain trust. People are like, oh, Janine, you're so smart. I'm like, have you met my friends? you know, because this room is filled with a lot of very smart people. And so we're going to, I'll go around and you can raise your hand and answer Naomi's question. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say, when it comes to promotion, when it comes to expanding your reach, make sure that your Google reviews for your business are up and running. And I paid $35 a month for Google Ads. I had a guy that was on, it started with the chat bot. I know how to break chat bots, so they boot me over to a human being. So break the chat bot, get booted over to the human being, and then the human being helped me build a Google ad that went to one page on my website. It didn't go to the home page. It went directly to a landing page. And then that landing page would get a higher number of hits. And what was amazing about that is I got 3 new clients a month. That's how it started. Then it became 8 clients. And as Google saw that I kept doing stuff. And so if you're not doing Google ads, I recommend that. I do not recommend for my authors or my people Facebook ads. They're too complicated. It's way too much. I went on to Google, talked to a chat bot, talked to a human, had an ad up and running, was getting money that paid for itself within the first month. I cannot say that about anything I have done on Facebook. So
that's very helpful. Thank you. I'll definitely check out Google Ads.
Yeah. Jovita, did you have an answer for Naomi? Okay, you're on mute. Thank you for letting me use my sign. For any of you, there's going to be a sign, a thing in the chat where I will send this card to you, because we're all on Zoom these days, right? And so if you want a you're on mute sign, Sean will put it into the chat and let her, and you guys can sign up for that. But I found it very helpful for all my students and all my meetings, and you can just click the link. I'll ask for your address. You may give me a post office box. I do not want to stalk you. I don't have time. Go ahead, Ovita. It would be great to have you. Let me unmute you. Can you unmute yourself now? Yeah?
Yeah.
There you are. Hello. What can we do for you, my friend?
Yeah, so hello everyone. So thank you, Janine, for the opportunity to be here. And we met through Laban, if you remember, a few
Laban
years ago.
Ditchburn. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
It's been forever. I did, just a second, I'll get back to you. Did you want to answer Naomi's question? Or you want?
No, I don't
okay.
think I am able.
I'll be right back to you then, my dear. Hang on just a second. Yeah, we'll be right back to you. Okay, so anybody else have any suggestions for Naomi on her situation? Okay, we will come back. Oh, go ahead, Versal.
Hello, Naomi.
Hello.
When you said that, this could be the season for light workers, I totally agree there. And what I do for myself is read about stuff that's been written, because that's how I get to connect with other, spiritual leaders or people who are doing the work there. And it always gives me some different perspective that leads me down a path that usually aligns.
Thank you so much, dear. We appreciate it. It never hurts to be reminded. Just be a scholar. Sometimes it's best just to read it. So, okay, Naomi, we're going to move on along, and we have Dawn, and then Ingrid, then Luann. So, Dawn, it has been a hot minute since you were working on your yoga book, and you've moved twice. I mean, it's like crazy things have happened.
Yeah. And since I talked to you guys last, I've been working hard, taking some great tips from yourself, some of the other individuals who have joined us, and have been trying to implement, not fast and furious, but at the same time, right? Because that, when I'm like in it, I'm like, so in the midst of all of what's going on in the above us in the skies, trying to stay grounded, be mindful, and I have really, really appreciated all the tips that I've gotten thus far. I don't have any questions. You actually, Naomi, totally brought my questions. So thanks, Naomi. Because I too am trying to dip my toes in a new area. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dawn DeVita. I have been in the world of yoga and meditation, and now Ayurveda, both offering one-on-one sessions, wellness, and actually products. So I'm super stoked about that. and look forward.
Yeah. So how can we help you today?
You're helping me just by being here, and y'all are like moving your lips, and I'm taking notes down, and I'm ready to dip into your media kit.
Oh, you're totally good.
I'm
Okay.
here.
I just want to make sure, Dawn, because I always encourage questions. Show up with questions, because like I said, we've got a brain trust here. Everybody's taken time out of their day, and the type of people I attract are very compassionate and very generous. And so, you know, we have no problem giving you one tip that you can walk away with and hopefully pivot your business for you and help you. I want you all to stay in business. I want you all to stay profitable. Okay. This is the goal. This is what we want for you. Okay. All right.
Naomi actually asked my question, and it had to do with promotion. So
okay.
I appreciate that.
All righty. So we're going to have Ingrid, Luann, and then Jovita. Okay. So that's the order that we're going to go in. Go ahead, Ingrid. How can we help you today? Hi.
Thanks. Hi. Goodness. Well, I was thinking this is just awesome, just being here. Your energy's great, and your book giveaway, like everything's just awesome to take in. But I do have a question as I'm thinking about it. So I work for this wonderful lady who has a fabulous website where she's bringing a bunch of holistic practitioners together, and clients can go to this one place and they can book in with whatever they're looking for help with. We get lots of traffic to the website, but we're having difficulties getting that crossover, the
conversion.
getting people to the conversion. Yes,
you're not getting people to convert.
That's right. Yeah. Any suggestions?
Right. Yeah. So when you first come to the website, the first thing is it may be slow at loading. So you want to see how long does it take the website to load. This is what they call a trust event. Okay. And I really wish James Hipkin was here today, because I've learned all this from him. He makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. And that's because I've listened to James Hipkin. But I recommend that you go to the Janine Bolon show and look up the interview with James Hipkin. He talks about the 6 elements of a website. But and he usually brings our website 1-minute tips. So I'm sorry he's not here today, but he'll be back. So the first one is make sure that your website is loading quickly. Okay, that's the first trust event. The second one, and this sounds really picky and most customers don't know about it, but this is more legal, since you said you have multiple people on that website and it's kind of a catalog. You want to make sure that the website goes all the way to the beginning of whenever you guys started publishing. So like as an author, I started blogging back in 1997. And so on my website, James and other attorneys have said, to protect your intellectual property, you have to go all the way back to when you first started and include this year. Okay, so that's just a tip that I want to share with you, because I learned that myself 2 weeks ago, just sharing a tip. Okay. Number 3, when it comes to conversion, it may be too complicated. Your website, maybe there's too much information on the homepage. You should have one thing on that homepage, which is whoever the person is that's bringing the group together. There needs to be a shot or a physical image of their face or body on the upper right-hand corner, so people go, oh, I'm in the right place, right? And then there should be one call to action on the homepage that's bringing them in to your newsletter, your update, what have you. That's item number 2. If you're still not getting conversion, then you're fishing in the wrong pond. You don't have the right word choices. You're not appealing to what the person needs. So the question you ask yourself is, what is the one problem I solve? And I know you're a collective, but focus on one problem that you all can solve. Okay? Because you're not catering to that. All right. And we have a few other people here who are smarter than I am. And one of them happens to be Nancy Fields. She's lovely. She was part of the Entrepreneurial Summit. She's got a new book out. Feel free to flash it. There she is. There we go, people. She became a new author like 2 weeks ago, people.
Oh,
2 weeks, man. Yeah. So we celebrate new authors, because let me tell you, that first baby is a witch to get out. Yes, ma'am. Anyway, go ahead, Nancy. What can you
I wanted to say everything that Janine says is just absolutely right on. And I want to go further on not only was the one problem you solved, but use the words your people use to describe their problem. And the way to find that is to do some keyword search. There is a wonderful, inexpensive tool called Keywords Everywhere. It's a Google Chrome extension. For $15, you get 100,000 searches, which will last you for a whole year. And so if you can match and it'll tell you what words people are using exactly. And so if you can match your free offer to the words they're using, you will begin to build a list and begin to get conversions. And the other thing is that you do want to build a list, and then you do want to reach out. You want to have a really good welcome series to welcome them in, and then stay in touch. It's debatable as to what's the best time, how many times, but once a week is fabulous. If you can do it twice a month is also good too. Once a month, just to stay in touch.
Okay. And we're going to stop there because we have other people who've been waiting very patiently. We're going to get through everybody. And then if you guys have additional questions, then we can cycle back around to you if we have time. So Luann Hooper up in Canada, how's the Great White North, eh? What's happening?
Right now it's downpouring in Toronto, so it's not too pleasant, but it's lovely to be here and meet all these new people. This is my first time, obviously, at Coffee Call, so I don't have anything to ask. I'm just sponging it all up and soaking it in. I think you and I met, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, but I think we met at JV Partners.
Yeah, JV Partners. It was probably 2 years ago, because I was asking you about the 99 Author Project. Yes. I remember you were like, but I don't have a book. I'm like, yeah, but you have an online course. And so that was one of the things. So Luann, I wanted to introduce you to Jeff Borshawa. So that's why I wanted, because he takes stuff that's on your website, AKA what he did with Nancy Fields. Your stuff is so well organized on your website. He can take that and create a book and help you create a book. So the two of you may want to talk afterwards. The other person who's had Jeff help him out is Rich Beyer. Rich, do you want to flash your book? Because he's only been an author for the last 4 weeks. And there's Rich's book. And Jeff, thank you for highlighting our book, which is the Authority book. Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of what he does. And his books are, you can see from the design that it keeps it super simple, because the whole point is just, I have a book, okay, that really helps you then promote your business, because then you're able to get on a lot more podcasts because you've proven you're the authority. You've got a book, okay? Right. It's not common for people, all right? Yeah. So great. Yep. So if you do think of a question, just raise your hand. But now we're going to come back to lovely Jovita. Hello. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And let's get you unmuted. There you go, dear.
Yeah, so nice to see you.
Please introduce yourself and how can I help you?
Yeah, so like I told, I'm Jovita, and we met through Laban a few years ago. And it seems that I get back to where I was 2 years ago, and that's how you came back to my mind again. So I even, when I tracked, I remember that I did what I used your 60-40 principle, and then somehow the money flow started, and I got a very nice client, and I was very happy for a year. And then it ended, and I was full of visions and inspiration and did a lot of things. And then for almost 6 months, and there was nothing. And then I started to question that maybe, I somehow started to feel that there should be some maybe more spiritual or deeper reasons that I really stopped some things, because it became, it's going everything nicely. You feel that the problem, there is the need for this problem, but nothing, happens. And then the survival, when the children's school started, the survival challenge became so huge, which totally, I started to feel, like a person who is drowning and trying to save. And then, from being very direct and focused on your vision, you're starting to do many different things because you need to survive. And then you realize, you're just exhausting. It doesn't make sense. And then that's how I remembered you, that, something might be wrong. And then when I yesterday was reading, thank you a lot for this 10 steps to abundance. So I went quite far. And there was this question, how you feel about, why you feel bad about money when asked about money. So I realized, that I even remember when I was little gal, and I was not given only my sister. So I told to myself that, money is bad. And that's why I will be more spiritual. And I feeling very much that all my ideas and vision is like on the 7th chakra. And the life is pushing me to the 1st chakra to survive. And I'm feeling, and then when I listed all these people I admire, who are trying to help humanity to evolve, like, I don't know, Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, I liked Bill Gates. They are all rich and they all have the spiritual angle, which I never realized. So I think my question, is, how is it really that you can stop the flow? And is it my thinking or feeling that this is something with 1st and 7th chakra that I need somehow, I don't know, to integrate? Or because it doesn't feel normal anymore for me. I really started to notice more other signs to get myself out of this. It doesn't feel that I need to work more harder, more something, or I think I should go from another angle. That's how you came with your books and wisdom.
So if I can recap, you've been working very hard, you got overwhelmed, you're starting to feel like you're drowning, the money isn't flowing the way it used to, and you remember thinking that money is bad, and you made a choice. I will be spiritual rather than wealthy, because that's the more positive path. That's a very common thing that happens with mystics. That's what I call the whole group, is mystics. And so I encourage you to start the 60-40 principle again. Go around your house, look for loose change, find $7 or $8 to put together, and start the 60-40 principle again. And then every bit of money that comes to you that's not your paycheck, like your standard pay, any money that comes to you unexpectedly that's not from a client, but unexpectedly you get money, you divide it up 60-40, get the money flowing again that way. And then you can get, I hate to constantly give you books, but literally that's why I wrote all these books, was because my students had challenges. And so I wrote these little books to help them. And that's the Thriving Solopreneur. It's basically how to run your business, how to nurture it in 4 hours a week. And I encourage you to meet as many people as you can. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Meet as many people as you can and start chatting with them about if you can help them. So like, I know you have past clients, reach around to past clients and say, I know that you and I worked together before. May I have a Google review from you? May I have a testimonial? Is there anyone else that you know? Sometimes I feel like I'm the best kept secret. Is there anybody else that you know that might need the services I offer? So that way you're not selling to them, but you're asking them to, I really liked working with you. I like your type of people. Do you have somebody who might need what I have to offer? Because sometimes I feel like the best kept secret. And so you do that for an hour a week. Now, in your case, since you're feeling like you need to survive, I would recommend that you get on the phone, or you text people until you get somebody on the phone, and you do that till you get your next client. All right. That's how you, quote, work hard, is you just keep talking to people and following up on referrals and everything until you get clients. Now, the last person I coached to do this ended up getting 3 clients in 2 days. Okay. Because she just started reaching out to it. The other thing is, money is a tool. It's just like a hammer, right? You saw that in the book. It's like a hammer. You can build a house with it. You can kill somebody, hit them over the head and kill them with it. So when you start looking at money as a tool, it becomes much easier for you to shift and bend with it. The reason why you're staying in the 7th chakra, that's your ideal, that's your vision, that's where you want to go. But guess what, darling? We all have human bodies and they need to be fed, clothed, and maintained. And so what happens to mystics is they get so much in their head and they just want to stay in that airy-fairy space. But guess what? You chose to be born onto this planet so that you could experience in 3-dimensionality all the things this planet has to offer. It's the only place in the universe where you have coffee and donuts and pie and all the other lovely things that Janine loves. Well, you have different things you love, right? People are like, skip the coffee, Janine, give me the Guinness. I'm like, I like that one too. So, you know, it just depends on what you are. But I would really recommend that that's what you do and have fun, play. Money is a game. Play the game and play well. And thank you, Sheridan, for that, because Sheridan was the one that taught us that a couple of weeks ago. So thank you, dear one. So Jovita, I'm going to leave you with that. And then come back to the next Friday Coffee. Come to as many as you want to show up to and keep asking questions and keep learning the people here and get to know the people that come to my calls, because they're a really good community and they'll be glad to help you, because we want everybody to be profitable. We want you to stay in business because we know your message is important, because you were driven to start your own business. So we know you have a message that needs to be shared. Okay. So thank you, the other 3 of you that have been waiting so patiently. We have Joseph Verschwali. I'm so sorry if I'm busting your name badly. And then Sheridan. So Joseph, you've been trying to work and stay, and I just want to say thank you for waiting. It takes me a bit to get around everybody. How can I help you today, dear? It's you, Joseph.
No worries. Also, it might be a little loud where I am. We're
No, you're
about
fine.
to open, so it's gonna get this market. All right. So I wasn't coming with the intention of making requests, but since you ask, I'm actually so I've been asking most of my mentors just recently, like how to kill imposter syndrome, because I'm at this stage where, you know, people are depending on me, relying on me for my expertise. And I know I have that expertise and I'm confident in it, but somewhere deep in the pit of my stomach, I'm like, do I deserve where I am? These people are coming to me and they're paying the price I demand, but deep inside in this internal psyche of my mental wellness, I feel like a fraud.
Anybody else have that problem? Okay. Welcome to humanity. Welcome to the world of being an entrepreneur. So Joseph, tell me how you and I met. How did we get to know each other?
Actually, I don't believe we have met, but my good friend and mentor Jeff Bourgeois, yeah, he referred me to this group. So thank you so much, Jeff, and thank you guys. I've been listening in as you all talk, and wow, this is a room of powerhouses. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh yeah. These are people that have a vision and they are rocking it. They may not, as I like to say, they may not be doing it perfectly. They may not be able to make it happen, but they're doing it the best way they know how. Yeah, that's how the people are rocking. Go ahead, Rich. Let's talk about imposter syndrome, dude. Help our Joseph out.
Damn. So my book was published for like a couple weeks before I let anybody even know about it. First of all, because I got
sorry, Rich, before Jeff made you make people know about it.
I was so in the process of writing the book that I never created a space for myself as an author to step into. So what I did as a result of that was, do you see this? You see these composition mini little notebooks? I keep a box of these in my office because I use them for everything. And I took one and I just started writing down my accomplishments in my life. And I couldn't believe how many things I've actually done. And you got to step into it. You got to create a space for yourself and then step into that. You know, the only thing that separates you from being an expert is just declaring it. That's my takeaway from this book process.
How you doing, Joseph? Oh,
That's a
thanks.
good truth bomb there. A nugget of gold. I appreciate it. And I think that's kind of what I think I need is that journal. You know, I keep being told, hold a journal, write in that journal. And I just neglect, I know I should, and I neglect it. And every time I start doing one, I try to do it daily, and then I just set it aside. So I
Well,
feel
then
like,
don't do it daily. Don't make a rule for yourself. Just keep it with you.
Yeah.
okay.
And set it up to win. You know, don't, if you set it up, I'm going to do it daily. And then if you don't do it daily, right away you failed. So set it up to win.
Sure. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Well, and keep coming back. And don't forget to have an accountability partner. Jeff is great, but go ahead and tap Rich. I volunteer people all the time. But go ahead and get Rich's contact information, and the two of you stay together, because if you're feeling like an imposter, who better to learn from than somebody who's just a step ahead of you? They're not so far ahead of you they don't remember. They're just one step ahead of you. Okay.
Certainly, I had a meeting with Rich,
Oh,
I think
okay.
a week ago. Was it a week, 2 weeks maybe? And yeah, it was very cool to learn from someone who's been in the exact space I'm in, but well ahead of me. And I appreciate the wisdom.
That's a nice way of saying older.
And Joseph, next time you come on to Open Friday Coffee, I'll call on you sooner. Now that I know that you open at 10, I'll make sure that I call on you earlier so that we can get you through so that you can drop off and get to work. So thank you so
No
much
worries.
for joining. Thank you so
I
much.
do plan on sticking around until you're done too.
Okay. All right.
I'll tune in.
Good, because I think Vishwali has a comment for you. Go ahead, dear.
Yes. How about, but this is what I do for myself when I used to get down. I gave myself a gold star and I felt happy about it.
Give yourself a gold star. I love that.
I like
In the
that
form
idea.
of chocolate, but I don't recommend that for everybody.
Buddy, yeah, chocolate, not for everyone. Agreed. But yes, that's what I do. I get myself chocolate. So, all right, Joseph, anything else we can do for you, my dear?
I think I'm good for now. Thank you so much.
No problem. We're gonna go to Nancy next, then Verswali and Sheridan. So go ahead, Nancy. It's great to see you, my dear. What can we do for you?
Oh, well, you know, it's funny because I don't really know how to talk about my business. I do so many things. But, you know, one thing I wanted to share, though, in the process of getting my book finally published, in that it was in review for a long time, I looked back. I was possibly going to have to buy a ISBN from Bowker. And I have clients who I've done this for. So, oh, fine, I will use my same email address that I used for my client to get a Bowker ISBN. Then I realized I couldn't use it. And what I learned so valuable this week, one email address, one ISBN account. So I actually spent $150 I didn't have to spend, and they wouldn't return it. And they said, well, no, it's owned by who you signed up with earlier. So always learning.
Yeah, thank you for saving us money. So in the Janine Bolon Show, our tagline is here to save you money, save you time, save your sanity, save your knowledge. That's what the Janine Bolon Show is all about. And so thank you, Nancy, for ticking that box of saving us money by sharing with us, don't spend it this way. So thank you. Sometimes a negative result is needing to be shared. We appreciate you so much. Okay. Anything else, Nancy, or are you good?
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Okay, hon. All right, Vishwali, thank you so much for chipping in and chiming in and telling us what's going on in your world and how you do things. So talk to us. How can we help you now?
Hello, good evening. Thanks. So I'll start with your question first about how we met. And I am in Tom Ruich and Ted's virtual stuff. And he had interviewed you on Story Power Marketing. And then I'm like, you talk about light work and shaman and being struck by thunder. And that's what really interested me. So I went searching, and is like wonderful. That's how I met you.
Okay.
And which is where I would love to know resources to further my, education or whatever about this particular field. So any resources that you know about would be most welcome, other than your books as well. And also your media kit was so helpful. I took a couple of pointers from there, made my own media kit, put it on one of my web pages, and I'm slowly getting there.
Bravo. Well done. Okay. So what are you seeking? Because I didn't quite get that. Are you seeking help on getting yourself promoted with what you do? Are you looking for a community like the community I have online? What exactly, how do you want to integrate?
I'm looking at resources on spiritual stuff that you can guide me to.
Is there a specific arena that you want to stay in?
Oh, well,
because I had a Hindu
so I'm a
guru.
telepathic yeah, and that's the other thing. I'm based in India. So there could be a connection there.
Just a little bit. Paramahansa Yogananda. So I was with Yogoda
Oh,
Saying
all
Society.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yep.
So now I've got one resource I can read up on. Thank you.
Autobiography of a Yogi. That was Paramahansa Yogananda, and anything. He's the one that brought out Mahavatar Babaji for the modern era. And so when I started working with the Native Americans, they used to talk about this grandfather of the stars. And when I was introduced to him on a shamanistic journey, it was Mahavatar Babaji masquerading as grandfather of the stars. So I started seeing where Mahavatar Babaji actually operates throughout the globe in different mindsets. He presents to the Christians as Archangel Metatron. He presents as to the Judaic faith as one of the kings. And so anyway, it's fascinating how that energy, that consciousness manifests as it's helping evolve mankind. And so people will argue with me that that's not the case, and that's fine. I was like, it was my shamanistic journey, and that's what I saw. I'm just relating an experience. I don't ask anyone to believe me. I don't want anybody to follow me. I want everybody to follow their own path. I want them to follow their own intuition. And so I got my enlightenment in 2010 and have been a Bodhisattva ever since. So
excellent. And
yeah.
is this story in any of your books that I can read about?
No.
About your Native American.
The Native American one, I have to be very careful because some of their stuff is very sacred, and in America we have issues with cultural appropriation, and so I have to walk gingerly through that path. I think the best one would be if you get Expressing the Divine, a guidebook for the enlightened soul, which you are. Sean has that in the chat right now under the media kit. You can click on that. And with that, I have the practicalmystics.com, and there we have a once a month group that meets. But as far as resources, since you're such a scholar, Expressing the Divine is everything that I read, and I condensed it down into, it's not a fluff piece. There isn't case studies. I don't do, it's like, it's a resource guide. Okay. It's like meant to be a book that's a guide. And in that book, I talk about Ask and It Is Given by Abraham, Esther, and Jerry Hicks is one book that I recommend. And the second one is The New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, who is a sweet little Canadian that does a lot of good work. The reason I picked those two is they both are breaking the paradigm of religion is required for evolution. And they operate in a very generic sense. And so with Jerry and Esther Hicks and Abraham, that helps you work with emotional landmines that you might have in your psychic field. And then I love A New Earth and Eckhart Tolle because he helps you with the mindset traps that are everywhere and how your thinking can get in the way of your evolution. All right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Paramahansa Yogananda, An Autobiography of a Yogi, he was just trying to help people in the age of Pisces realized that they didn't have to have a spiritual authority in their field. Like they didn't have to have a guru sitting with them in order to evolve. He was slowly getting people away from, you have to be in a physical space and all that. He probably would have absolutely loved Zoom, because I think he would have thrived during that, but he wasn't in that period of time. So anyhow, does that help you? Is there anything else we can do for you, my dear?
No, I'll start off with this for now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Okay. And then we have Sheridan. You're up, dear. I'll let you drink. Take a drink. Go ahead. Right there. That's my superpower. If you're getting ready to take a drink, we've got 2 minutes, girl. What can we talk about in 2 minutes?
Okay, really quickly. So I'm deciding between, I already have someone doing my website, and I'm going to have her do the Google things that you were talking about for me. But I may have an opportunity to do the Gift of Life Expo. And my friend advised me to focus more on online stuff rather than going to a booth, where she said people won't be really searching for me specifically. So I kind of want to get your opinion on that before I decide to do that.
Okay. And what I'm going to recommend is you and I have a call, and because that's strategy and planning, that's going to take a little bit more finesse than I can do in 2 minutes.
Got it.
John,
Okay.
if you will put in the chat the link to the 30-minute flash coaching session, that's all we're going to need. And
Okay.
as you can tell, I can dump a lot of information and content on you that you can chew on for a month, but go ahead and sign up for that. And take us home, Jeff. You got 1 minute to give us our 1 minute networking tip. Jeff Burshawa, who is my collaborator and partner for Podcasters Playground, as well as the 12-hour book authority system. So, hey, Jeff, sorry to leave you for last, but yeah, I know, but we got to go.
You know, I'll bring it home. I'm going to share wisdom from my 10-year-old son. He started a new school and he was nervous. And his first day, he walked up to another kid and said, "Hi, I'm Nate. I'm new. Can we be friends?" And I'm just going to say that most grown-ups, for some reason, we've got our own baggage. We overcomplicate networking. And my advice to you is it's about building relationships with humans. Forget algorithms, forget SEO. Just say, "Hi, I like you. Let's be friends." Or, you like this, I like this. Let's talk about it. And the other thing I would say is if you want referrals, you want introductions, start by giving them. The universe loves it when you give introductions. I give 20 a day just because that's what I do. And I can tell you yesterday, I probably got about 100. That's it.
And that's how you get those clients that we had people talking about earlier in the hour and that sort of thing. I like to start on time and end on time. You guys have a great life. Have a great weekend. And please come back to the next Open Friday Coffee. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye now.